seen on our thing. Someone, please give us a recap of what you remember, what you recall, what happened, what events transpired, what did we do last game? Who did we see? Who did we talk to? Who did we kill? Someone, please give us a recap. Take it away.
I would also like to know.
Let's construct this a bit, because I know some things, but I don't know other things. So, starting with last session, we have rebuilt the bridge, and we have crossed the bridge, and no books were lost in the making of that. Some books were hurt in the making of that. We crossed the bridge, and we continued onwards. In continuing onwards, we found fangberries, and then we did that whole thing, spiders and everything, and then we got into a more in the forest, correct? And there we
This
were
is like
searching for.
This is like 2 sessions ago still.
I know, but like there we were looking for tasselworms.
Yes.
And
Last session was the
we
wind session.
got to a place where there was a beaver at work. No, it was not a beaver actually. We came to
The beaver was actually a worm.
and we saw we did see a tasselworm. And that tasselworm, it did go into its little burrow, which is just a sort of dam at the river, and it just went in there. So, say again.
This is why your mind jumped to beaver.
Exactly. That's
Because
like
the tatsworms made a river a beaver dam.
exactly, and
Either that or they ate the beavers.
they are like parasitic. They're like a nest stealer.
Yeah.
So they interact. Yeah, I'm getting away from the recap right now, but I'll try to
Get back on
continue.
track.
We just saw one tatzelworm, and it hid in the burrow. So we approached it, and because Graham was very observant, saw that some other tatzelworms were hiding. And these hiding tatzelworms attacked us, and we had a fight. And yeah, we did put down 4 tatzelworms, and we're thus able to really get Oleg some of his trophies that he wants. Let's hope that in one of those 4 there is one to be had.
Trophies? I thought they were supposed to be for food.
Wait, I thought the
Well.
trophy was just supposed to be the head, also.
Yeah, we need to
What
preserve
did you
one
guys-
head at least.
Okay.
So we gave some wrong information to Graham about the purpose of this hunt.
What?
Do we?
No, I don't know, but it
remember.
was about a head to be mounted above an entrance or something. Oleg was
Yeah,
very.
he wants a tatsworm head, but he also wants the meat from the tatsworms.
Oh, he also wants the meat. Okay, then
Okay.
I was not up to date on that.
As
So-
far as
so-
Graham would know, he thought that this was for Refield learning a new recipe.
This is correct.
Yes.
That was the deal that I struck with Oleg.
And what we also learned was how kind of not to talk to Ekandeo, that Valerie is an Asimar that was
What?
What?
I thought so. She was paraded around for her beauty.
Oh? Does that
This is news to
does
me.
that mean Asimar specifically?
I don't know.
I
It's
don't
just maybe it. I might be embellishing stories
I
here.
thought she was just beautiful, and because the Church of Shaylin values beauty, they were like,
But she was
"Oh,
paraded
the
around.
chosen one!"
You're the chosen. Yeah, exactly. But what we know is she does not like the Church of Shaylin. And or well, she does not like the way that she was treated by the Church of Shaylin, so she went
Yeah.
away from that.
Would you please
And-
listen? I am not the Messiah. You are the Messiah. And then she left.
Yeah, and then she left.
Like a
Um,
true Messiah should.
and then we had an encounter with a Technic League.
Because we were trying to make our way back towards Oleg's post.
Yeah, we crossed the
Indeed.
bridge and boom, technically.
And they
A
were
what
hunting.
league?
The technically
Technically.
is what's the simplest way to describe the technically?
It is a band of sort of
I wouldn't call
deep-
them outlaws, but they're not moral they're not morally upstanding individuals. They're a not morally upstanding faction
that
in
is using
Numeria.
the tech. Well, they were using an orb to do some sort of magic that looked
It's
strange.
teleported.
Yeah, and they hunted two people who seem to have escaped from them. You can see them in chat right now. We saw
Yeah.
explosions in the distance, and when we got closer to them, we had a sort of a standoff. And
Yep. So these two are presumably former Technic League slaves, who may or may not have looted their clothes from the Technic League.
What?
Yes, the Technic League are slavers, among other things.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah,
Is-
not morally upstanding faction within Numeria.
Is the guy a magus? He looks like one
He is a magus.
from the art.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Maybe we don't know. We didn't really see
No,
them
no,
fight
Paul-
so
Paul-
far. So.
Paul called attention to the fact that the way he
Wielded magic.
wielded
Oh.
magic and applied that magic to his weapon is strikingly similar to what Vanya does.
Yep.
Oh.
So yes, he is a magus.
Damn.
But yeah, I would say like the Technical League are like outlaws, but like it feels very difficult to say that when they're native to Numeria, and
they
Numeria
are
is
the
kind of-
law.
Yeah, Numeria is kind of known for being like Conan the Barbarian meets sci-fi.
Yeah.
Right? It's everything in Numeria is an outlaw, I swear. That's like the norm. But yeah,
Yeah, and that's
met
where we
him.
left off.
and the half-orc was not very trustful of us. He's very wary. Understandably so, given their situation. The woman, though, seems very eager to be chummy with us.
I don't know if it's eager to be chummy more as like just looking for a way out.
Could be
And-
one or the other. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
The way she was behaving was odd, I think.
She was more like, "Shut up, Megas guy. Just let us be happy here, or
Yeah,
let us at least."
I
Not-
have not yet committed their names to memory, though.
I think it was Octavia. What's her name?
Octavia, yep. The half-orc?
That I do not know. Oh,
Regengar.
Regengar.
And Octavia was slightly more towards leaning on us because we were able to chase off the technically before they were able to say after they said you'll regret this or something along those lines / we will get our bounty back.
Yeah, we like the Technic League was just telling us to shoot, and we were ready to throw hands essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, they seemed to be really accustomed to getting their way.
They're powerful.
But they saw how big of a group we were, and it was just like, nah.
And it had the feeling of, we'll be back later.
To be fair, like with Regengar and Octavia, this is like 10 people.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
And
You
two
see
animals.
the top of this map? That's the entire party right now. So yeah, there's a lot of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get to Oleg's.
I wouldn't want to go up against this either. I'm just saying.
I just wonder how the people at Olex are going to react. Like, we always come back with more. Every single time.
Every time. Without fail.
We got some more
There hasn't
NPCs
been a
at the
single
NPC
time yet.
factory. Sorry, Robin.
There hasn't been a single time when we went back to OLX without 2 more companions.
There's usually at least one more.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, we
I was
always
one of
bring
them.
someone back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, you
I was
were.
Yeah. We...
And technically, so
So
was
was
Graham.
But then
The
they
second
were like,
part,
oh
yeah.
wait, no, we know that one.
Oh, who is the... I know this one. Okay.
All right. So with that being said, we're gonna pick up the scene today where it is currently, as the map is showing, rainfall that is falling across the region right now. With you in your encampment, it is 7 o'clock in the morning, so let's go with this entire thing right now. Let's see. Refresh my memory. Did we have a camp since finding Regnar and Octavia? I don't remember if we did or not. I don't think we did.
No.
I don't think we have. No, that
so-
was why we.
To talk about, yeah. So,
Yeah.
we'll use the time right now. So, being 7:12 a.m., we'll say we just found them. So, right now, as we're getting ready to move, they are with you. And I do remember you did put them on the horses because they were extremely tired. And yeah,
Yep.
I just want to put the scene right here. Regengar is going to help out Octavia onto the horse, stand close to her, holding her hand while she does kind of grab the reins, looks around at all of you, and just thank you for saving us. It'll be good to actually be able to relax and not have to run across the country anymore. Although I will warn you, I don't suspect this will be the last we are going to see of them. They're quite adamant about getting me and Regengar back to their camp.
Getting the two of you specifically? I thought they were adamant in general. When it comes to their prey, if you will.
So, a few of you, Arifiel, Vanya, Revit, you notice that when that was mentioned by Arifiel, you see a look that does come across both Octavia as well as Regengar about how directly for them, specifically for them compared to just in general. It quickly goes and then fades.
What were you doing with the... Or was the Technic League doing with you before they chased you?
Just trying to find more ways of using the magic, this unusual magic they have in Numeria.
Were you excavating for them? You're going and looking for the magic?
No, I think they were probably being experimented on, if anything.
What?
Can we go?
Mm-hmm.
She's been through a lot.
Yes, of course. And Gilly leads Bramble further.
Yeah.
I think Octavia is on Bramble.
Gilly, piece of advice if you ever want to travel, I'd avoid Numeria.
Yeah, I was close, but not that close to it.
Not fun.
Heard a bit.
So I want to interject here and ask what the horse situation is. I know Octavia's on someone's horse, but Ragnar...
I think it's on Gilly's horse.
On Gilly's horse?
It's on
Okay.
Bramble, yeah. Is Ragnar refusing, or Ragnar
Greenhawk.
refusing to get on a horse?
We're in a bit of hilly terrain, and so as long as he can keep up, he'll remain side by side with Octavia. When it gets to kind of open terrain, able to go a little bit faster, he will get on Octavia's horse, or on Gilly's horse, I should say. And they'll ride together. Which means, where does Gilly go?
Gilly is mostly just thinking about they have been running so far and their feet must hurt like all hells. So she's like, ride on my horse, I can walk for a while until we make camp.
Thank you. And
Graham,
as mentioned,
Graham would offer up actually for Gilly to double up, since they're both small.
I'm with Bramble.
Oh, okay.
And Gilly does not want to leave these two people who just came here to be like next to Bramble and holding Bramble's reins. So Gilly is very protective of that.
okay.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Graham. It's all right. I can walk a bit. You see her sweating.
If you insist so.
You really take care of your horse, don't you? It's probably just afraid we're gonna steal it. Regengar, you don't have to be that mean.
Well,
There was a incident a few days back in the forest. Stampede. The horses went through some mental and physical trauma.
You see Regengar just kind of doesn't really pay attention to that, or he doesn't make any obvious remark, but we do see Octavia. She has a beautiful horse as she pats kind of the side, brushes the hair of Bramble. Beautiful animal.
yes, she is.
And you start making your way. So like this terrain right now, moving from the actual waterway, it is hills terrain. And you see that going, as you do go to the higher clefts of the terrain here, you do see that it does remarkably remain in the hills for the next probably 10, 12 miles. So it's going to be a bit of slow going with the horses right now, but an easy pace as we're heading towards Old Eggs. We see the tree line of the Gnarl Marshes that are to the west. We see the sky just heavy cloud cover as rain does fall across all of you. And I think we'll go back into it. We're in a bit of a relaxed position right now, getting to know them a little bit. So let's go and talk a bit more about what we did last time, which is exploration. So if anyone here is interested in doing some more procurement or talking gossiping, I'm also going to add one here. Actually, it was brought up to my attention. We can do this as well. I'm going to add in influencing.
Are we able to do that as we're traveling?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Because we can do that while we're talking. I mean, obviously there'll be time to talk, so I'll incorporate this as well with the actual influencing. It'll be the same mechanics as in the camping section as well. Sure, again, just in case. All right, so with that, how about? Oh, now it's working correctly. So
Would
while
there
we're moving
be-
across, yeah, Refill.
Would there be another camping session between now and getting to Olegs, by the way?
Most likely. It's going to require you, unless you march. If you march, you'll get to here at most. So we'll have one night at least traveling.
Okay.
Unless you really want to push, but you'll be all fatigued if you do.
Hmm. All right.
So, or moving. In chat, put down what you kind of want to do as we're going across the landscape here.
Do we know if the Thessaline is still following us?
The Thessaline. Go and give me a survival roll, or even a perception roll. Open rolls here, Rabbit.
Sorry, what was that question?
He's looking to see if the Thessaline that he was trying to befriend is still following.
That thing. Okay.
That thing.
Rabbit, as you are taking a look around, you don't see the Thessaline, but you suspect, because of what you've seen, it may not. It did have a bit of a complication, unfortunately, during the stampede, so maybe it got deterred to return. You're not sure, but when you do look around, maybe because of the obscurement of the rain, you don't see the Thessaline at all. Oh, I didn't want to mention. So it does look like that sometimes. Everyone give me just a quick roll, any skill. If it does a double, I think I know what's happening here.
Any
Robin,
skill?
you don't need to do it. Everyone else besides Robin.
Looks fine.
All right. I know sometimes it does it. It's like it's essentially. I think it's the initial load into the server where it does it. So everyone just like initially in the game just give like a roll, and then I'll delete them. I know for me it does it all the time now. Okay, so harvesting, Gilly, Graham, Vanya. Now, if you do want to do potentially like befriending an animal, Rabbit, you might actually come across if it is still following you, or it could be something else. So you can still do it if you want to. Okay, so we start to move. On the horses, all of you are moving, a bit drenched in the rain, but you are adventurers. You've dealt with environments, and this is just normal for you. But you do know, luckily that Valerie is here. She will go about and take care of all your armor, your gear, as you go about. Now, as we are moving through the landscape, I need to have, because of the rain, causing the potential, could be a bit of a loss. Someone's going to go ahead and give me a survival roll, please. This is where Chronic Clean would come in handy. I do believe someone did a Chronicle, if I recall, before this area. Do you remember who did
Vanya's chronicling now.
Yep. Someone did a chronicle, but I think like last
I think
time
it
we
was
did
a failure.
exploration
Failed.
actions.
I failed. It was.
it? Was a
it
failure?
was
Because
me
I think the only one that
failed.
succeeded was George on the critical success. I remember that. Okay.
Yeah.
Is this in regard to not getting lost?
Yes. As the rain's obscuring the terrain, so you actually might get lost.
Which, with correct me if I'm wrong, without knowing north, we have a penalty to, right?
Does anyone have a compass?
I have no direction.
There we go. So whoever does go to do the directions will attend to you, and you can direct them. So this will allow you to have no penalty in this role here. So first off, who's doing this this tracking as we go? If we're not actually going through the forest, which would be a little bit harder possibly. So, someone give me a survival roll. Gotta be trained in this one. Which might be, in this case, Rabbit, I suspect.
I can do it as well, but I think Rabbit's probably better.
I am an expert in survival, but it's still a +8.
Yeah, you are better.
Yeah, take lead on next.
Ranger doing Ranger things.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Tracker's goggles also have sense direction. Can I
There we
use
go.
them as well?
There you go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so between me with the spell and your tracker's goggles, we don't have to worry about the penalty for not knowing where true north is.
Yeah. And Rabbit, you've been through this terrain a little bit before because we're traveling through this area, so no one's getting lost at all, and we're making headway. Every now and then, through the flash of lightning and thunder in the sky, you do see the tree line occasionally come into view as they're moving across. You see the rivets of water that's streaming down to shallow pools all in this kind of hilly terrain. Horses every now and then splash in, making it actually a little bit of a slower progress, not mechanically but narratively, as you have to account for moving the horse a little bit slower to account for the bogs that's now kind of forming in the area. That's going to hopefully dry out as the time does go on. But as we are going, let's do the first type of our rolls. So we'll go in order of the actual written things here. So Aurifiel, as we're moving across the landscape here for the first several hours, go ahead and give me for the harvesting what you want to go with, and that being a medicine or nature check.
Nature.
All right. And you do find a number of herbs. Now, the harvesting, what is the premise for this for? For medical kits or for just looking for herbs?
Just looking for herbs, I think.
Okay. So as you are looking around for herbs, you do find a number of herbs. Now, this herb itself, I just realized I didn't put these in this game. Give me 1 second.
Like whether you have specific items or
I do.
or if they would just end up being regions.
No, it's not reagents. These are going to be a little more special with these ones. So you do find it's a small little plant that has a small like seed pods on it, and they are a little unusual in that they kind of tingle in your hand a little bit. Go ahead and give me, if you are trained in it, which I think you might be. Yes, you are. Give me another nature check to see if you don't understand what these are.
I'm not trained actually. I'm an expert. Does that still count?
Shut up. So these are known as birdseed. And they're unique in the quality that when you do have them in hand, you can actually scatter them in the sky and they turn into small flocks of birds that can just fly off.
Okay.
Note down inventory. I have to make the items here. But note down you have birdseed. And roll me a d4. You have essentially 4 charges of this birdseed. You can spread this out 4 times.
Okay.
Now we go to our next one. So Gilly, what do you want to do? So as you watch move across the landscape, you see. I'm sorry, interrupting you. You see Aurifiel going about acquiring some things, and then you see like a small bird like fluff in the distance that gets kind of pelted by the rain a little bit. Now, what do you do?
I think Gilly would like to kind of gossip with people, check in on them, see how everyone is kind of doing by just talking to them, and see what's on their mind and if they know anything. So kind of like to the new or to the NPCs, because I think we're kind of the party knows.
Okay,
But
so
yeah,
talking to maybe what Bregengar, Octavia, maybe they heard of something. Yeah, so go for it. Society or diplomacy?
yeah. Just a question: if I had a lore that would be applicable, I don't know. It's gossip is maybe the wrong one. I have politics on expert, but that might be a bit too. Let's go with diplomacy.
Politics.
I have politics. Gilly found a book. Okay. It's there's a lore reason for it. Paul said to I'll post it later, but I think I want to do diplomacy just to get with diplomacy. Let's see.
Ooh.
Okay. So as you're kind of asking around, talking, who are you kind of talking to? Give me a couple people, not everyone.
I think Gilly is kind of has her eye on what Valerie thinks about the situation, and also like the new people, just like trying to introduce them with everything and just asking them around about more mundane things that they might know what's going on, or just talking to them about it.
They definitely seem ragged, although I see the weariness upon their bones. Their boots look traveled, but their clothing is something that is interesting. You see Octavia and even Regengar, Gilly. Their clothing looks very, very clean. Perhaps they took it from someone, although it's fitted very, very well for them. Just
I
find it a little unusual.
I heard that with magic you can clean yourself easily. You don't need to go through all the hassle of it. I find
But
it a bit
someone
unfair.
running from danger and how they look, would they be spending the resources to clean their clothing?
Now that you say it, yeah, that's weird. What do you think? They're just. Do you think this is a charade?
Possibly. They might be walking us into a trap. Um, Maybe they're looking to get a sight on Oleg's, possibly intermixed with us. It's gonna be not too long before people in Brevoy, Restov, know what we've done here, what you have done, your company. Maybe other individuals are looking to get a spy in our midst for whatever
And
reason.
a cold shiver runs down Gilly's spine, seeing just those two. She was thinking of, oh, new people. Oh, new people. Okay. I appreciate.
Stupid connection. I haven't reset my connection. I heard what to say. It's weird because I can hear the entire time what you're saying, but I can't say anything, which is really strange.
Very odd.
Yeah. All right. So she does kind of agree with you a little bit. Also, one other thing, Gilly. I don't know if this might be interesting since we've gone through the Gnarl Marshes, but some of the people in Oleg's before you came back were talking about a report that there was a unicorn that was living in the Gnarl Marshes, but the sightings of people that seen it have fallen off in recent months because of possibly the bandits. But I have heard stories of how unicorns and how special they are.
Unicorns. Wide-eyed, he looks at Valerie, and you have this on good authority, or just after a few mugs?
A couple traders were talking about it. A couple of trappers
Huh.
that came in after the bandit lord has been taken care of. If everyone goes to the quest log under rumors, there's another entry in rumors.
Noise.
I forgot how to ask that. It's the book thing?
So it's in the journal section at the top right, and then very bottom quest log. I think there is actually another one on the toolbar left hand side of the screen. Yeah, so if you go to the journal notes on the left hand side, it looks like that ribbon. There should be one that says quest log. It's like
the one below the pin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's above the
I
calendar.
do not
I
see
see that one.
rumors in there. Ah, rumors. I see rumors in there. Okay.
In the quest
thank
log.
you.
It's not a
Yeah.
tab, it's.
Yeah, it's in the quest
It's
log
a
itself.
point under rumors. Okay.
Mhm.
Gilly will share that with everyone. Just maybe specifically with Oriphiel, in terms of there are other creatures running around here, but unicorns seem nice, right? Right? They're not going to do anything.
No.
I don't know. I feel bad about the owl bears.
Can't say I know much about unicorns.
I myself have never come across such a creature.
Aren't they meant to be sacred to some degree?
Could we recall knowledge about them?
About to say it right now. I'm gonna go ahead and do the call for all of you since it could be fun for information on how things go right here. So let's do some rolls. Everyone taking hero points. Make sure you do that right now. Again, the module for the hero cards are kind of jacked up at the moment, so won't be using those.
Does Gilly get an extra?
The
from
module
being
is still
a recaller?
active though.
Sorry, what was the question, Annie?
Does Gilly get an extra one from doing most of the recalling of the last adventure?
An extra hero point.
Thank you, Annie. Thank you for.
All right,
Thank-
George, roll my d20. On a even number, you get a hero point extra. I guess so.
Thank you, Kite and
Marco-
Kayleen, and thank you, Annie.
I thought
Marco is still
that was a
active,
policy
by the
here.
way.
No, not necessarily.
Yeah, what Andrew said is the module works. Like I can see the text and everything.
Are you,
Oh,
are
it
you
does?
able to see the text in the cards?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, interesting.
So if I...
All right, so
Yep, it's working now. Okay.
gather information as you all kind of talk a little bit about unicorns, in that they are a symbol of purity, of grace, proud and noble horses, typically of the white coat, but they're best known for the single delicate horn that extends from the center of the forehead. And they do serve as protectors of the unspoiled wilderness and sacred places. And unfortunately, people do hunt them because of that very horn that are said to possess magical properties. And some people see the idea of hunting them just reprehensible. And some will go through lengths to protect once they know a unicorn might be in the area. But they're typically found in exclusively remote locations that are unsullied by civilization. It's a rare. It's a rare event to see one. All right.
Interesting.
Now let's continue onwards to Graham. All right, talking to Regengar, it seems.
A little bit, possibly.
Discovering. Which is more to do with observing, isn't it?
When you do
Well,
come across
here he is.
Regengar, you do see that he does pay very close attention to Octavia, but you see the nature of him. He does have that large blade by his side, and you have seen it at times with the electricity just streaking down the side of the blade. But he's also very, very, I would say, aggressive in the way he looks around at people. And it's not someone that is, you can tell, like an easy talk to communicate with. Whereas Octavia is the opposite, where she has a very friendly face and seems open to just communicating with anyone around. Regengar is not at damn all.
Graham would like to take this time, while we're traveling, to. He's curious about dealing again with the Technic League, and would like to make that a matter of his investigation. And from discovering Regengar, hopefully learn a little bit more about what he's done with the Technic League, and maybe tangentially also what Octavia has done. But in observing him to learn more about his personality, Graham will be looking at his interactions with both Octavia as well as the rest of the group, and possibly dropping in some maybe lightly prodding questions, probing questions, not prodding, to just figure out what things that Regengar has had to deal with. Graham will say things like, "Well, it seems like you've had a lot of experience, unfortunately, dealing with the Technic League. I'm curious as to what hardships you've had to endure."
The hardships is because of them and what they do, the way they treat people. I've had close calls with them too many times. And you watch as he gets a little more of a ramble of just kind of pissed off of how he was abused. You watch as he kind of goes, he kind of twirls his hair a little bit, and you see Octavia, "Don't," and slaps his hand. "You're going to make your hair look messy." He just kind of lets that go. As he's walking, you do see that crowded in a small little burrow is a couple of rabbits that are avoiding the rain, and all of them are walking past it. and it is directly in line of Regengar. And you watch as he kind of sees one dart out a little bit, and he just kicks it. Not incredibly hard, but he does kick it to get out of the way without seeming the care in the world. And it does kind of tumble a little bit, and it goes right back into the hole. It wasn't broken, anything like that. You see that Tavia does have a very, very kind of a sad look at that. And she just says, "You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that." And Ragnar says, and you can get kind of an ideal. He's a little bit similar personality-wise to when you kind of initially met Knock Knock. Doesn't really have what seems like a caring attitude to anyone or anything except for maybe Octavia.
Understood.
Now, if you want to, you can give me. You want to use a perception check, or what do you want to use to kind of discover on him, Graham?
Are you able to tell me all the other skills that are related to a discovery check in this situation?
I had mentioned them already. If you can decipher.
Okay.
So I'll give you an idea. So it's the first time I kind of did this, but talking about him playing electricity across the blade, Arcana, perception is always a default, and the way he is not wanting to really talk to anyone and has a very, very aggressive face, intimidation to discover as well.
Gotcha. I will do my Arcana.
Okay. Okay. That is a
Graham's
critical
an
success.
expert. Interesting.
So on a critical success, I actually forgot what discover. Let's see.
I think I get 2 different pieces of information.
Okay, so we know what skill can influence an NPC that has the lowest DC. All right. Or one of the personal biases, resistances or weaknesses. Which one do you want to know?
For the 2
You
pieces
get
of
2 of them, yeah.
information, I wanted to know the lowest skill DC to influence him, as well as the weaknesses that will make it easier to influence him.
Okay, so the first one you're going to notice is that as he did kind of kick that rabbit, and Octavia is like telling him, "Don't do that. It's not. It's fine, Octavia. In this kind of world, you are too trusting, too open-mindedness. No, I'll be the opposite. I need to appear strong, self-confident. Make sure that no one crosses our path. Not these ones here, the Technic League, or anyone else." Intimidation would be the lowest skill to influence him. And as the weakness, people shouldn't have to live like we did, what we had to go through. But at least the one thing we had, the people that had the kindred spirit, of how to deal with our shite, know what we went through. These ones here, live out open, free, can able to walk freely, with food in their bellies, not to worry about being whipped, being caned, being stabbed, being used as just devices for the Technic League. They don't understand us at all.
I wouldn't be so quick to judge.
I've been
won't
judged my
claim to know.
entire life.
I won't claim to have gone through what you've gone through or to fully understand. But don't assume I've had an easy life. I can tell you I haven't. I know Numeria's a harsh place. I've been there.
You've been through Numeria.
I have. It's a time that I'd rather forget. I think you can relate.
Yes, I would. You see that Rengar doesn't kind of respond to what you said, but he did definitely hear what you said. So if you do relate, influence-wise, as the kindred spirit of what he went through, in this case what Riffle did, so Riffle might have actually good opportunity to talk to him now for this. So this will be one of his weaknesses, because Riffle can kind of relate to him, or anyone that was in his kind of situation can relate to that, will be easier to open up to him. right.
Would I have noticed him kicking the rabbit or not?
Give me a perception roll.
I always hear rabbit instead of rabbit right now. So when you said a couple of rabbits, I was like, how does that look like?
Yeah, you can
It's my
notice.
family.
No.
Well, in that case, rabbit will remember it.
Okay.
Look, pop up, bro. For Ragnarok. Rabbit will remember this.
You kicked me or my sibling. I don't know. We look the same.
Okay. As all of you watch, bit of talk going through the rain. We see that Gilly is talking a little bit with Valerie. Valerie is kind of whispering to him. We see Ruffiel gathering seeds. We see Graham kind of overwatching, doing a little bit conversing. The sight of Rabbit seeing what just happened to that smaller rabbit before it ran back into the hole. You see that Ruffiel clippedly talking to Rengar, what you just mentioned. Vanya, you kind of go out a little bit into like just kind of catalog a little bit more. So Vanya, for yourself, go ahead and also give me, I believe for chronicling, it's going to be a culture check.
So society.
Yes.
All right.
Not culture,
Do you
society.
want it to be open? Yeah,
Yeah.
it was open. Yeah, okay. Okay.
That is going
Let's
to be
go.
a critical success. So, as you are going about and you're looking around, in fact, you can tell me how you kind of do this, Vanya, as you're recording the observable landmarks, all in the kind of this rain right here, and just kind of seeing how things are. Now, obviously, this could also be used to record customs in a society, in a town, whatnot. Maybe something's going on in town, but out here is kind of just looking at landmarks.
I think, well, landmark wise, I feel like, maybe look out for ruins or these places where I feel like people have been before. Like, I feel like a good way. Oh no, I'm fainting. I don't know. Um, uh, yeah, I think since I've been using society, I feel like hints where I feel like people have been before is something that I will look out for. Like, not like specifically roads, but like where I feel like pathways would have formed if people would walk through them, perhaps.
Okay. So as you are, what this does mechanically is in this couple group of hexes areas, so about maybe 20, 30 miles, anyone that does any sort of check for history, if need be, or even survival for like tracking or moving, will get +2 to the roll.
Nice.
Now, not only that, but because of critical success, something good also happens here. And that is the fact that as we are moving through, we
Unicorn.
do... Huh?
Oh my god.
A unicorn appears.
No. You see...
No.
No. You see before you is actually... is a small little fire in the distance. It's a black smoke, and you see that it is in between two little small hills, so you can't see the origination of it, but you do see what looks like a campfire that's currently just billowing a bit of smoke into the sky.
Sorry, Paul, you've traumatized me with encountering any fire out here in
Yeah.
the wild.
I know, he said something good happens, and then he says fire. I'm like, what the
It's-
heck, Paul?
Yeah.
It is
raining,
definitely not a
guys.
wildfire, I'll
It's
say
raining,
that.
guys. Let's unlearn our trauma. Nothing can happen to us.
It's a small little
raining.
campfire.
We have
Okay, so is that something we all noticed then?
No, you notice it. No one actually
Okay.
sees this.
Well, I think Vanya would point it out. Would be like, "Hey, everyone, can you see that? There seems to be a fire down there, but a small one. Seems very smaller than the last one we've seen in
You
the...
got me to worry there for a second.
Apologies. Do you...
You mean like a campfire?
I...
Go
it does...
approach Vanya to get a look.
It does look like one. Do you suppose we should check it out with everyone? I wonder if it's made by travelers. Maybe we should just leave them alone. Since sometimes I do like myself some private time I don't want to indulge. Just go meet up with people who wouldn't
Private
want to
time
meet
out
me.
in the wilderness?
Yes?
Think it's good to be left alone, but I don't want them to get spooked. Let's go and seek them out.
Maybe we should make ourselves noticed from afar, just so they know that we come in peace. Like we can go there and wave while we.
What would be
walk
your
over
way
to
of
them.
making yourself noticed from afar?
I think.
If you want to approach, it's going to be easier to just actually approach and call out to them,
Yeah.
I guess so.
as opposed to trying to be.
We could light a torch and walk over to them with a torch.
How far away are you right now from this little site? You can narrate this, up to you.
How far?
It sounds like we're just within eyesight of the little glow from the campfire, I suppose. So
within
we
yelling
can't
distance,
even make
then.
out.
Or
Potentially, I don't even know if we can make out the people there. It's just the light from the campfire and the smoke, I suppose, isn't it?
okay, so you will hear a voice drift out towards all of you. If you're gonna attack me, just get it over with. I'd rather not deal with that while I'm warming my belly with some mead right now.
Raphael's ear kind of twitches a bit. Gilly, I think they speak your language.
Yes. They're cultured. Let's go there.
Take
I
the
didn't
lead.
understand a thing.
Oh, well, they're drinking. Someone is drinking.
One thing
We
you
have
do-
some wine!
That stuff is too weak. Now, one thing you do know immediately, you can't see this figure, but he knows you're there.
Well, Gilly will lead the horses there. Or, well, Bramble, not the horses.
You
Raphael will follow Gilly. I think everyone else will probably follow suit.
Yeah.
you do see a little campsite, a single tent, bedrolls under the tent, water click on it, already a trench around it that's already diverting water away, a campfire, a small little stove, crockpot I should say, that's on there currently bubbling, and you see a dwarf that is there sitting on a trunk, just kind of stirring what might be inside this little stew. You see this dwarf has a giant crossbow at his back. He's got 2 hand axes, a couple spears in his pack, leather armor, has actual kind of orangish hair, and he's currently just watching the fire.
Oh my god, yes.
Well, so you think your meat is strong, huh?
My mate is always strong. There, want a taste? And he
Yes.
pours out this little hand keg into a little flask, not a flask, but a little mug, and sits it on the like broken down tree trunk next to him. A little bit of drop splash into the drink.
Oh no, it's getting weaker.
It'll be fine.
Gilly would take it with one gulp. But I do a fortitude check.
Give me a fortitude save.
Yeah.
You take it good. Ah, you take that down well. And you look at all of you, and you see the 2 braids of the orange hair. You see it has a green sash down the other side of him. and you can see the scarring, the weathering. This you can immediately tell is someone like you, but much more experienced.
Graham will be ever so curious, and also we're slightly worried for Gilly, and want to inspect the beverage and try to like sniff it to suss out what was in it.
What? It's just alcohol. Nothing obnoxious or crazy about it. Not like my friends would do sometimes.
But, yes, but what did you put in it?
Nothing. It just came from some settlements from the far west. Thought it was quite nice.
No one who drinks would have anything bad in their mind, well, except the Stag Lord. Never mind.
Yeah, I hear the Stag
met.
Lord was causing issues here in this region.
Yeah,
You came
Yeah,
from the west too?
Would you say, Riffiel?
You came from the west as well?
I came from the west, from the south. Just where my boots take me sometimes.
Southwest. Fair enough.
Well, I think the Stag Lord is not bothering anyone anymore.
He takes a now look at all of you. They've got quite a large company. Well, I did hear that the Stag Lord's gone. And assumed that you might have taken that.
He doesn't
You would
notice
assume
the
correctly.
stag helmet I'm wearing.
He sees it, doesn't respond to it at all.
You would assume correctly.
Well, you did a good thing then.
How is it traveling alone?
And also, what are you traveling alone for?
Just clearing my mind. I got a friend nearby, but I should be left alone right now. Just
Well,
clear my head.
I would love to give you, sir, a bottle of wine, even though you think it's
You call me a Harsk.
wonderful. Hers, please take it and share another drink with us.
Absolutely. I'd offer you a bit of my stew, but I ain't gonna be able to feed 9 of you. 10, I see, actually.
Well, yeah, we wouldn't impose, of course. Still,
Well,
it's the middle of the day.
it is middle of the day. Where are y'all heading to?
North, to Oleg's trading post.
Well, if you're
Back
interested, I uncovered a bit of a pathway through the Nar marshes here to the northwest. Bit of a shortcut, much faster travel than going around.
That would
Oh.
probably be beneficial.
Thank you. Wait. Thinking about what Valerie said earlier, like kind of this suspicion comes over, and you wouldn't do anything. But I'd sense motive him just
Why?
out of.
I'm gonna roll it for you. Yeah, he seems like he don't care about you at all.
That's a good thing.
He's just resting his feet right now. Eating his stew and the alcohol. Yeah, there's no red flags given to you by him. No. If anything, it'll provide you some shelter from all this rain.
Yeah, it's not nice to be out in the country.
It is
Without
sometimes.
You get used to it.
Yeah. Here, I found a couple extra radishes. Small little patch I uncovered. And he hands you about 3 or 4 moon radishes.
Oh, moon radishes.
You like them?
They're alright. Eating them by themselves are a little bit too plain for my taste. He took a couple and like chops them into a stew.
I forgot. Are they more popular amongst kobolds?
Over Oleg's, they sell a mean radish stew.
Well,
Does sate the appetite.
maybe some other time.
Now it's getting awkward. All right, so, should we? Well, it was nice. Let's let's head
It was
out.
nice meeting you, friends.
Oh, he called it
And-
friend.
It's good to see a friendly face every now and again.
I don't know if I
Absolutely.
too soon for me.
Well, you're either a friend or an
That's
enemy,
friend.
so until you attack me or doing something that pisses me off, you're a friend.
What does piss you off?
A lot of things.
Just-
Nothing you've done.
Oh, that's great. But just for future reference.
Vanya. For some people, pestering can be a point of annoyance.
Oh. I just pestered already.
If you don't mind me asking, sir, how long do you plan on being in this area for? Not like immediate area, or like this region.
Yeah, I'll probably move through the Stonelands in a day or so.
Uh, all of the stolen lands in a single day?
Yeah, I got some ways to travel.
Wow, you must know a lot of the shortcuts.
Oh, I've not been through here recently. I just know the one that is, he just points to the northwest. Look for, it's an unusual branch hanging down. Has a bit of a raven skull twine. Probably some goblin did that sometime, but you look underneath it, you'll see a little pathway that does go through the Narmarsh
If you
here.
look at knock knock.
Wasn't me.
Well, should you ever be in this area again, it would be nice for our paths to cross.
Yeah, we'll see. Could happen again.
Graham will start getting his stuff together and heading back to his horse.
Okay.
I think we'll head out. He looks like he's got himself together and doesn't really need any assistance.
He's got to go back to Pathfinder Society and fight the Aspen Consortium.
Yeah, he couldn't convince Miri to come back with him.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, shut down. Go on, sir. You find your path.
As you start making your movement, your distance scan, do you go to the shortcut or do you don't?
A shortcut sounds amazing.
Like anything to get out
At
of the
the very
rain, probably.
So
Yeah, at the very least, it sounds like it might.
you'll
like,
get here
keep us
for
moving.
free. That was the boon from
Oh,
Olivia's role.
how cool.
Oh, nice.
No
Don't-
problem, guys. No problem.
Wow. Yeah, cool. Like you did the work for that.
I
You just found the
did.
guy.
I pressed
You
on
found
roll.
the guy.
I pressed on roll and I made the decision to make society expert.
Yeah, but
Yeah. Well, can't argue with that logic. Can't argue with it.
Wait,
But-
so that means
Society, one roll at a time.
With that shortcut, you do get there, which means theoretically you could march into the Oleg's if you want to tonight, or do you want to camp out here?
Let's go there. I want to go. I want a bed. No,
Gotta go
no
home.
offense, Orifil, but I hate camping out.
now, Gilly, we
I-
mustn't be too hasty here. If we rush at the very last second, something bad might happen, like possibly technically catching up with us and doing something nefarious.
Oh, that
No, they
they're
seem
far
intent
away.
on avoiding us. Too big
Yeah.
a group, at least for the minute. if anything, getting closer to a bigger group even would deter them more so than camping out in the wild. If that's the mindset we're going with.
Really, I'm not sure of how well you're acquainted with the numbers that the technically is able to muster, but I don't think even at Outlook's trading post. In fact, I'm quite certain that if they wanted to, they could just overtake Outlook's trading post.
Yeah,
Well,
I
that's
wouldn't.
even more
I
reason
wouldn't
to
doubt
go
that.
there now.
Well,
I just meant when it comes to keeping ourselves safe, Oleg's trading post would be safer than.
yeah, but safeness isn't really important. If what Graham says is right, if you would attract bad luck, I certainly think we shouldn't rush anything. Just to be sure, I'm on Graham's side when it comes to rushing. Then.
But we would. I might console myself with Orifio's cooking, but still. Do we need to camp out in the rain?
I am only consolation. Okay.
No, Orifio, stop it. You know what I mean. It's not consolation. You're not the consolation. The weather is something that needs to be consoled for. Look at it. I'm wet. I don't want to ride here. Please. Please.
I mean, you're out of the rain now.
Could you do that? Could you bring all the bad luck to Oleg's trading post? I don't want them to have any bad luck because of us.
Should we just ride into the...
I didn't prepare prestidigitation today, so you'll have to deal with being wet until we get a good chance to dry up. Even if we are out of the rain.
You do see that Regengar and Octavia are willing to push, but they do look exhausted.
To play devil's advocate, whilst we would have more safety in numbers, there is also the fact that we're in a very hidden little passage through the forest right now.
All right. Right, let's continue onwards and then... Okay. You're probably right. Gilly takes off like a headband, wrings it out from earlier, puts it back on.
Gilly, do you know this feeling of when you go to bed and you think about tomorrow because tomorrow is your birthday and you know all about this grand party that your parents are probably going to do for you and you cannot fall asleep? This is the same. You just go to bed today and you get all excited about the warm bed tomorrow.
But it's tomorrow. Okay. Thank you,
Vanya, I think even with that very convoluted metaphor, you would still be more excited to have the warm bed in the present.
I could be in a warm bed and thinking about a warm bed the next day or night. You know? But no, it's important. It's important that you stay humble about it and take what you can get. Do one
campsite.
As we're putting the campsite together, Graham will say it's something along the lines of, sometimes it's the anticipation really makes the reception.
So one actual benefit boon-wise is because you were here previously, there is already a campsite here. It's not too far away from the pathway. It's very, very well hidden from the pathway, but you can actually go, mark locations, and go to your old established campsite.
So we can skip the prepare campsite step?
You can.
And since it's well hidden, we can also skip camouflage or not that one.
That stuff to do because time did pass for that.
Okay, so we can set up at the old campsite and just move straight to step 2 then.
So let's do this since it did reset. Rabbit, go ahead and put yourself in the prepare campsite and just roll real quickly. It's still gonna be a success, no matter what. Okay, that's how it works.
Okay.
All right, let's see. So I need to remove. All right, so let's add in a couple here.
We'd have 2 new influence and 2 new discover activities, right?
There you go. We've got a whole selection of stuff. So, the question is, want to fast track this or do the real one?
What does everyone think?
I don't mind doing it legit. Especially with the 2 new characters in it.
I would like to influence Ekondeo.
Ooh, alright.
Goes for one of the characters we already had.
Yeah, I know.
What is the orange?
Do we want to do 2 steps for the campaign or just 1? Since we do have a lot that we can do.
We have a lot of time, Billy grumbles.
We do have enough rations and such, at least.
Looks that way.
But the basic ingredients and such are gone again.
No, I remember. I remember the issue to that. The item that Paul had in the in the party donkey is different from the popular item.
Yeah, but it's not in the party donkey at the moment. I believe Knock Knock had all of it. Or someone else had it in their inventory.
What are we talking about?
The basic ingredients for cooking and such. We had about 45 left or something.
Yeah, we did have some ridiculous number.
What's going on here? I'm having a bit of a trouble in regards to the interface. Paul, could you load it again for me? I don't know how to.
Is it hard for you to drop down to the correct scale?
Yeah.
I just up and down arrow until I get to the right one.
Oh, okay. I reloaded, so I don't have the window anymore, and I don't know where to get. Thank you. Ah, that's much better. Thank you. Thank you, Annie.
Yeah.
I should see if this works actually. I want to make a macro. See if anyone can open this up.
I like macros.
All right, everyone. In the macro directory is a camping, little campfire. See if this will open it up for you.
Just camping?
Macro director.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Camping. It's a campfire.
It does open it for me.
Okay, cool. Put that in your hotbar.
Nice. Thank you.
All right, basic ingredients. All
I don't know
right.
if it's because I already had it open prior, but it's. Give me a second.
So let's go ahead and throw it onto.
So it should open the camping sheet, right? Yes, it does. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So looks like it can't go in the party donkey because, well, it won't keep track of it. Unless I can put the party donkey in here. Let's see. It would actually make it easy if I could. Party donkey. And if I
We have
put,
special ingredients now. Yay!
oh yeah, it does work. Cool. All right. All right. So we'll do that from now on. Right.
Does that factor into the? It does. It does also. That's a lot.
Do we have
Seeing that
40 base
number.
ingredients?
It's some ridiculous number.
41, yeah. So the camping sheet counts all the basic ingredients the characters in the camp have, I guess.
I'll put the ingredients on the actual party donkey, and I'll put that in the actual camping thing, so it keeps track of it there.
Ah.
All right, so we go ahead and. All right, Raphael, waiting on you, and was Eve on you?
I cannot decide, but okay, I will just do this.
I always wind up cooking anyway.
So you gonna cook then?
May as well.
We can do rations. All right, so the old campsite. That if actually this was I think your first campsite here in the Stolen Lands. So as you do go find it, well, we'll see what Gillen might be doing first.
Could I be able to try the boost of confidence so everyone gets a +1?
Yeah.
With a performance check.
You can.
Let's go. Performance check +2. All right.
+1, not +2.
Oh,
are you sure?
oh my god.
I'll give it
That's
there.
what you mean +2 because you have 2
+2.
charisma.
Yeah. I have 2 charisma.
By rules, there's no
might-
roll done. By rules, it just happens automatically. But I'll let you do a roll and get a potential increase. With that natural 20, I'll give you +2. So everyone will have +2 to the roll right now. I'm not sure what George, or in this case Gilly, does, but what does Gilly do to increase the moods for everyone here?
For this, Gilly wants to might I be able to do something different than just singing or something that Lindsay would do, but maybe just going around and
Yeah,
saying
whatever. It's
everyone
up to you,
that they're
George.
doing a great job, just like heartily saying you're doing a great job, and grumbling about not being there, but then putting that energy into, and we will be soon at Oleg's, and it will be nice, and we'll be eating probably worse food, but we'll be drinking better things, and it will be warm, just like this fire, and it will be nice. Just, it will be great.
She could also be regaling us about all the good and warm, fuzzy times she had at Oleg's place, and that's something else we can look forward to.
Yeah, they even have like the some of the mattresses are straw filled, and it's so nice to sleep on them. It's so much nicer than the ground. And it's warm, and they have a fireplace there. And
it's
can
not
dry
wet.
your socks out. Yeah, and it's not wet. Your feet stay dry. Just imagine.
And you don't have to worry about the mosquitoes that are nipping at you all the time.
Well, you have to worry about less mosquitoes at least.
Oh, that's true. That's definitely true.
All right.
I think, or if you ever cooked at Oleg's? Oh, I hope you will.
I don't think I've cooked over at Oleg's now.
You're doing a great job. A great job you're doing.
We generally get the food from Svetlana, don't we?
Yeah.
As all of you are preparing the campsite, as it's getting a little bit earlier into the evening here, you see that Knock Knock doing the same diligent thing. He's going by and attending to the traps around the campsite. Valerie, again, with the rain that happened through the entire day, is now taking care of the armors. Ekindeo, though, is not gathering herbs this time. He's actually just sitting by the campfire. Dog is by his side. He's not paying attention to Dog, and is just watching the campfire. You see Regengar is staying by the side of Octavia, but Octavia is there now brushing her hair. All right. For you, Vanya. Give me that stealth roll.
All right. It's a +2 from Billy.
It should automatically do +1. We'll do the +1 afterwards, so we'll count for it.
Going to take a. No, it's gone.
It's gonna be
I
blind.
wanted to take a picture.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be a blind roll.
Okay. Oh, it says a question mark.
Love that.
So, tell us how you camouflage the campsite.
Just, before I do that, I wanted to ask, isn't this the hex where we had the gold vein?
That's the one to the
the one
southeast, I
The one to
think.
the southeast, okay. Okay, so I imagine since it's a bit foresty, I would just like almost do like a little wall. Like I imagine us being amidst the bushes in some way, and I try to like if I feel like once I'm going outside of the bushes, I'm going a bit more far off from a camp, I try to see if I can see something between the bushes, and if I do, I put some more foliage between the trees, and yeah, that's how I imagine it.
Okay. Fantastic. There we see Urfiel tending to the foodstuffs. Then, Graham, you gonna try to influence Regengar?
Yes. Graham will try and I was actually wondering if I could expel the if using the fierce spell here would amplify an intimidation, because to kind of get him a little bit more like wielding towards me as an authority figure among the group.
No, because you cast it on him, and he had the point will attack you. So.
Okay, cool. Gotcha. All right. So Graham will talk to Regengar and notice that. Well, we'll point out that he seems to be tense and on edge, and that he is actually right to be so. He has no idea when either any one of us might turn on him, or when perhaps the technically might actually catch up with us. And because of that, it's good for him to keep his senses own, but to make sure that he knows that we're very much not going to be the ones that will turn his ire on, and to also let him know that if we wanted to, him and Octavia would be downed in an instant. And use that as something as an inspiration to get him to be more on our side.
The one thing I've learned with the Technic League is that only hardship since my childhood, since I was born. Nothing but hardship. The only things that you can rely on is yourself and no one else. Power is the ultimate measure of someone's worth. I don't see the fantasies that are embraced by the weak to comfort themselves when the strong take what they want. I watched technically do this entire time, non-stop to everyone. But then Octavia, I don't know how she does it. How she can stay the way she is. on times dealt worse than I have. Yet she still is able to see the world in some type of light that I can't. She walks my path on her own. I can relate to her, at least.
For some people, that being able to see a brighter side is both a blessing and a curse.
Just grunts. What skill are you looking to use there, Annie?
Intimidation.
Go for it. That is a critical success. So write down Regengar. Which is now 2, which means he now goes from indifferent. No. Is now indifferent. So he's now going to be less likely to annoy all of you.
He's going to be less of a butt? Great. I like
Goes
it.
from unfriendly to indifferent. Love it.
It's a step.
I've been traveling with Octavia for years. But it would be nice to have all the people that are looking to stab me in the back or sell me back off to the Technic League.
Don't worry, Regengar. We'll only stab you in the back if you try to stab ours. Also, if you try to do that, you gotta watch out for Knock Knock over there.
I'm not worried about a goblin.
Oh, he seems like a goblin you should worry about.
Well, if the time comes, my blade will be ready. Luckily, Knock Knock doesn't hear this. You hear the plate armor of Valerie, the chainmail, Gilly, whatnot, being attended. Oh, plate mail as well, being tended to. Then we go from Rabbit. Who you trying to learn from?
What kind of skills could I learn from Knock Knock or Valerie?
So, let's see. I do believe Valerie is now... Oh, get out of here. If I understand correctly, Valerie is now a friendly influence. Let's see. Come on, paper. Stop being dumb. Why is... I can never get this one. That's right, because she's in the one. Alright, give me 1 second. I did change her border, so she should be friendly. And she is, yeah. So you can learn Valerie's now, where essentially her action is to... 1 second, I gotta pull up, it's in the other book. Where are they at? Right, there's Miri. Where is Valerie at? Right, so Valerie's thing is not here. Must be blind. All right, okay, so hers is maintaining armor. So essentially, what you do is you take one piece of equipment that's broken, like either shield or armor, and you're able to give it temporary HP. So, like a shield could be pretty useful. Those HP does expire at the end of 24 hours. If you have a broken shield already, she can, or you can repair it to full health.
And what kind of skill does Knock Knock have?
Setting up traps. So Knock Knocks is... So he sets along these kind of frustrating, annoying traps around the perimeter of the camp. And if the camp is attacked within the next 24 hours, they suffer a -1 to all their attack rolls and skill rolls the first round of combat.
I'd like to learn from Knock Knock in that case.
Okay. And also, anyone who has initiative lower than Knock Knock, or in this case you, get flat-footed for you. Okay, so you go approach Knock Knock. What do you do?
So, Knock Knock, guys.
Yes?
I've seen you put down those traps around the camp.
Oh, yes. Ever since the Mudsips got killed by the Hydra that I killed. Took out every single head of that Hydra. But when I camp by myself, I gotta make sure that no one attacks me. So I put these traps around so they alert me. And make them think twice about stabbing a goblin, because I am a goblin of not Lamastru, but I'm a goblin. That'll be goblin hero.
Well, those traps seem handmade by you, are they?
They are.
Can you also teach me how to make those traps?
Sure. So here's what we do. And then give me the roll. Okay. You gain the first level of Knock Knocks. I have to do one more. Write this down. So you take the sticks here, you take the cans, the pots, you take the pea bags, and then you make sure that when they step on them, it just causes much hindrances. If you find bees and beehives, it also looks good, or a wasp nest. Also really good to put them around here so they get buzz all around. And he just kind of goes about and tells you how to set up using natural things in the environment to hinder enemies that do get caught in these traps. Okay. And after you spend a little time learning from Knock Knock, Ari wanted to go ahead and do a second set, or move on to eating.
What does everyone think? Let's see. Do you want to tease out Oleg's a bit more?
Why
I
can't
wouldn't
we
mind doing a second
simulate
set.
it?
So Livit wanted to level 2, and then Gilly wanted to go back to Oleg's.
I'm fine with everything if we're making camp right now. Oh, we get the +2 for the rest of the day, right?
No, just for the campsite.
I mean, like just for the campsite today. So, like, if we don't do a second part, we'll be wasting that +2.
Let me see if I'm actually curious. Is it for all the camping teams or just the one? I'm actually curious about that. Let's see.
Ooh, oh no.
Where is her thing? So.
Oh, I would have to do.
All other camping activities.
Yeah, I would assume it would affect all of them.
And I will have to continue with that. I'll be able.
Yeah,
I will do this sacrifice. Unless I have to do another check, then I won't do that sacrifice. Well, it's your call.
No, I'll let the +2 go for the entire campsite.
What a generous GM.
Indeed. Alright, well, as you're deciding that, here's what does happen. So Riffle is cooking. When you watch as a couple embers get caught by the wind and fly, and lands on a bit of the kindling on the ground, and then whoosh, and immediately starts a large bonfire that starts to spread around the camp.
Oh my god.
That's not good.
It's one of the companion's abilities, right?
No.
No, oh no!
Are we starting
What?
another wildfire?
There you go. You can scope and chat.
Is it?
What happened up in the chat?
Wait, I see. Oh no, I rolled a 1.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh.
Wait, I cannot
Beautiful.
see anything in chat. Wait, I think I have to reload.
Yeah,
What
scroll
does
up.
it say?
Just
Oh,
natural
scroll
one.
up. Oh,
Critical failure.
oh, yeah. Oh no. So whatever we do, there's always bad
So
luck.
quickly, Knockdog's like,
We
ah!
should
And then
have
they
pressed
put out the
forward.
fire.
Yeah. Oh God.
We should have
Stop, drop,
marched
and
instead
roll.
of camping.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Wow. I mean, despite it raining, oh boy, we're still fine.
Did Vanya take extra care to take dry branches on
Okay.
everything?
That are now on fire. Eventually, it was settled down, but the campsite essentially did fail. But anyways, let's do our break here. We can talk about doing a second set if we want to. But do know, once we get to Old Legs, we're moving to the third book. So
Good.
Can you make that page pop up again, Paul? Because I closed it and the typing in camping for the macro finder is not working. It's pulling up different pages that aren't the same one.
There's supposed to be in the macro directory. There is a macro called camping with a fire. Try that out if
and
that
there's
works.
display camping. So do the one that has like the actual like campfire. Yeah, book 3. Book 2 is all exploration stuff. Oh, sorry, book
Oh.
all of you. Right. Anyways, let's take a break here.
Which one of those options would it be?
Oh, it's in the mac yeah
Oh,
in
that
the
one.
macro
in the-
directory.
Yeah, if you go, wait, I can do another screenshot.
I got it.
In a second. There. You have
Here.
to press on there.
If you look in Foundry chat, Annie, it's this
I
one.
see.
That one.
Okay. I see now. I was trying to do the spacebar, control spacebar thing to find it.
Oh yeah, that might not work. All right, we're going on break.
All right.
Break.
I was thinking about Second set.
Yep, I'd be cool with it.
Okay, so we'll go from top to bottom. I'm waiting for Vanya, Raphael, and Rabbit to select their slots.
I
Um,
did select something, but it disappeared.
the activity I want to do is not on the list.
Which one?
I've instead learned from the water damage spellbook.
I'm curious. I'll look this up later. Things to look up. All right. What were you doing, Rabbit? Since I removed it, I might have removed an accidental one.
I honestly don't know anymore what I selected, so I just selected something that's in the list at the moment.
Gotcha. And for Vanya, you want to gain some stuff from the spellbook?
Yes.
That we
The
do.
one with the hole in it.
No, the water damage one.
No,
not
I
the
have
one
to-
with a hole in it.
It's not the other one.
Let's see how long that actually takes. I think this is actually downtime stuff,
Oh.
which I don't think you can do in 2 hours.
Oh, okay. Well then.
But I wrote it down to take a look at it.
I mean, does Paul allow learning from another player? I don't even know how that would go.
It's 1 hour per level of the spell
Oh.
to learn it.
So I was thinking is based on the hours, you can essentially accumulate hours. Like you have to accumulate these successes for like learn from a companion. You have to do 2 successes. Maybe we can do 2-hour intervals to learn spells from like a spell book or someone else. I think I'd allow that.
In the rules, it's 1 hour per spell level, just for a time that you can
I was
get.
trying to find how to learn a spell. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, so
It's-
the spell that I want to learn is a first level spell, so that would be 2 gold, and the DC would be 15. So that's the typical DC.
Okay, so here's how we're gonna do this, Olivia. Is we can accumulate hours. I'll note down the sheet of you building up towards the spellbook. So obviously, like a level 1 spell, you can do 2 spells level 1 in time downtime. But say like a level 4 spell takes 4 hours. You have to spend 2 essential camping activities to learn the spell. So you can do them over the course of an adventure. If you have like a level 9 spell, as you do multiple days of transcribing the scroll, we can do that to learn the spell. So I'll let that to happen here. The question is, do I do the actual spellcasting roll before or after? I'll probably be afterwards. So you could potentially waste the entire thing, which I guess makes sense. Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
So what spell do you want to learn?
Mage Armor. It's in my book. Wait. This is the book. And there's
Golden
Mage Armor.
damage.
Right, so it's a level 1
Spellbook.
spell, which means you can do another spell if you want to. This only takes an hour.
The last spell that I could learn is the spell Magic, but that's a 2nd level spell, and the others I have already learned through.
Okay, then it's actually going to focus on... In fact, I'll give you a bonus to the roll then, because you spend more time on learning that spell.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll have to note that down to add in. Let me see. Things to do in here. Let me take some more notes. Things to do.
Do you
So
not need to spend
add
anything
in-
when doing this one?
Add in...
Is it just a roll?
I have to spend 2 golds for a 1st level spell cantrip.
I didn't learn a spell to the camping.
Mhm.
All right, so put the money up front immediately.
Okay.
If we especially
can-
spend
I-
like multiple sessions doing this, put the money up front immediately.
Mhm.
Then we'll give
I
back
will-
after the roll is actually done if we do actually like get a critical success.
All right. So who will we start with? Like, will we start with me now or someone else first?
We'll start with you first.
Okay. I'm removing the coins, 2
Okay.
gold. And then I guess I do an Arcana check.
Not yet. What are you doing
Okay.
as you learn
Oh,
the spell?
yeah.
What's it look like? Narrate it. We're in narration
Oh
mode.
boy, oh boy. um. Well, ooh.
Just narratively, what are you doing?
Well, I mean, it's pretty on the nose, but I think I would just look into my book and look at the water damage spell book and
you just
read
transcribe
out the incantations maybe from the water damage spell book before I transcribe anything in my book, and I would be oh boy. I think Vanya maybe is
So
also
Vanya-
a bit nervous.
Vanya
Vanya
is
reads-
copying another mage's homework.
Yeah, but like
Probably.
it seems like Vanya is reading everything first and then is thinking instead of just starting with starting transcribing. Which
I
is,
think-
if
I
I
think-
were a mage, I would do it like that. I would just I'll start. Oh no,
Oh,
it doesn't
boy.
fit on this page.
I
Oh,
think
okay.
Vanya is very, very nervous with everything she does. So before she starts anything, she likes to read through it multiple times. I imagine it being like a recipe, like a cooking recipe, where some people just cook while reading the recipe, and she has to read it like four or 3 times, and then she slowly starts. Nice music choice, by the way. And she slowly starts to say the words out loud and concentrates. I'm sorry.
You're fine, Olivia.
All
Right.
right.
It make you giggle more.
If you're good, you give me the roll.
Okay.
You made the comparison to cooking. I'm saying like Orifio would look at a recipe and be like, interesting, yeek, and get to experimenting.
That is so cool. It's so cute.
All right, so that would probably be a critical success, I am assuming. So it's going to be half the cost. So take back half the money you used.
And I guess Vanya just cast that spell as well. Now she's a bit shimmery on her clothing. It's like there's some kind of skin on top of her. That's what I imagine. Like she's sitting there, really content, not really showing off, but she's like really happy about like how it worked out.
Okay. All right, then we're going to. In fact, we'll do Octavia's thing at last, since both of you are going to be hurt. So we'll go to Rabbit as he's hunting in the jungle, or I guess the woods here.
I was gonna say we're in a jungle now. Jesus,
Too much
that
fun,
was
Tumble?
quite the odd little shortcut. Goddamn.
All right, Rabbit, as you go out looking for prey, give it a roll, and then we'll narrate what you do. You narrate what you do based on the results of said roll. Well, that would be very, very good, and you acquire a lot of stuff. So we're now at, what is this here? 41 ingredients, 63 rations. You got so much damn food right now. What do you hunt and bring back quite a bit of?
I would just say that there are multiple boars just running into the traps of Knock Knock and just getting taken out instantly.
Okay. Do you bring that back with the help of everyone else? Knock Knock will help you. Dale will help you. Bring it back to the camp. Got a lot of food right now. All right, fantastic. Then we'll go ahead and go to Graham and Rifiel. Rifiel, since you're going to be... Actually, no, Graham, you're going to be talking to her first to kind of discover about her. So we'll have you do your thing first. So as all of you two, I should say, go to Octavia, you do see that she's currently brushing her hair.
So Graham's gonna approach the situation again with the idea that like he's trying to learn a little bit more about the technically through the experiences that Octavia has had, and also try to peer into her past and what she has had to endure, similarly to what he was doing with Regengar. Um, it seems Regengar is very, very respectful about you and your strength. I was wondering what you've been having to do for the Technic League with such strength.
Well, just things I did. Because of my ability to use magic. So, something I don't really want to talk about, but I've run several times from them, from the Technic League. This time we were at the close to the border we've ever been, and I saw the opportunity, and I ran. Rengar is always with me. We ran together, and it's just a society I don't want to go back to. I don't care about the way they deal with arcane magic, the way they deal with things, and so I've run several times from them. They've always captured me. This time, I hope it's the last time I need to run.
I hope so too.
You can use Arcana, Perception, or Society.
Okay.
That is also a critical success. it's my magic. It's an ability I have to be able to deal with the arcane inside of Numeria.
Do you wish you didn't have such gifts or talents?
No, I enjoy the talents. I enjoy the gifts. Makes me keep myself clean and pretty at all times. It's a small thing I can do to have something bright in the sky and in the world when it's full of darkness.
So for this, I'd like to learn pretty much the same thing that I did for Regengar. What's her lowest DC skill, as well as what is her weakness?
Okay. So,
He froze again.
son of a bitch! This is annoying.
He looks so contemplative.
I hate it! Hey, it's doing it.
That's the contemplation. That was the conclusion.
So, with all the world being dark the way it is, I just gotta try to find ways to make things just a little bit brighter. Distract me. Between whittling pieces of wood, just to juggle. This is something I learned just to distract myself. Learn how to juggle. I can't juggle in real life, so I'm just gonna play I'm juggling. But just ways to keep my mind occupied, perform against people, do stuff for Regnagar, keep him also from the thoughts that go through his mind. With performance being her lowest save, or her lowest skill check. And in this world, I just want to make sure that we keep up appearances. With all the downtrodden, with all everyone, if I can just keep myself looking nice, keeping Bregengar, he obviously doesn't care about the way he looks, at least not at first, but now he does take himself prideful and just keeping up appearances and looking nice. It's the last thing, just seem a little more upbeat, a little more comfortable, and just not in a state of just pure sadness. And so I keep my clothing as clean, my hair kept up, even in the worst of times. I try to keep myself looking nice. And if you can work in essentially appearances, and that to her will be her weakness.
And you certainly do look nice.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Graham will take those time when he has a moment to just let Raphael know.
As you say you look nice, you see Rengar just staring at you. Doesn't say anything, doesn't do anything, but is giving you a bit of a stare for a little bit, and then he goes back to doing his own thing.
I feel like this is probably going to be our last activity, right?
Yeah.
So, I maybe rather fitting, me being last here. I think as Orifio's finishing up the food and just distributes it to everyone, comes to Octavia and Ragnar. Yeah, you two look famished, to say the least.
I haven't really had a chance to eat as well as we would have liked. In the camp with the Technical League and just running across the landscape.
Eat to your heart's content. I've developed a fondness for cooking for people. May I sit?
Of course. She cleans off whatever you're gonna sit.
Yep. Just sits down next to Octavia. I'm not a great conversationalist at times, I have to admit. How long has it been since you've been amongst civilized folk, if I may ask?
Well, I've always been around civilized folk. They're civilized. Don't go with their
Well,
ideals, but I haven't been kept under a
more
rock, is what you're asking.
civilized than the Technic League. Decent folk.
My entire life, I've been with the Technical League. And if I've been free, this being the first night, 4 days.
Must be tough.
It is. It always has been. The one thing that really got me through it was Regengar. I tried to have him look at things a little bit differently, but he does have his ways, the way he was treated, the way he grew up, the way he was used by the Technical League. We support each other completely.
I know the telltales of mental scarring all too well, and there are others among our group. Enough of that, though. I apologize. I was listening in here and there whilst I've been cooking.
It's okay.
For someone who's not had much freedom, you look after yourself quite well.
For me, the world is dark. It's always been dark. And
Well,
I try to find the beauty in
even
anything.
in the darkest of sky, you can still see shining moonlight.
I see beauty as a way to bring a little goodness into a world that is just filled with evil. Because
From
what beauty
afar.
is evil?
That from afar, I think a lot can look beautiful.
We think the same way.
It's up close that you only see the blemishes. Slight. How do I word this?
And the beauty. This will be the first night I think I'll get some actual good rest. Can get my beauty sleep.
Well, I hope you do. If you don't, I have a cosmetics kit.
By all means. She perks up
I've-
immediately.
I've often practiced in making disguises, and disguises, outfits, just getting myself and others to look either better or not like themselves. That was a skill that I learned myself to.
Then you must show me.
I was going to say that was what I learned to get away from more harsh individuals like those in the area.
Yeah.
I would be happy to share some of my skills with you. And
Okay, I'm
honestly,
looking forward to it.
much of what I've learned from other people, other cultures, just studying here and there. I've traveled a lot, and passing by Numeria was probably my worst decision, but I was still able to learn a few little bits here and there.
Well, when I'm not dreadfully tired, then I would like to butt heads with you. In a good way.
Of course. I won't keep you awake too long. You definitely do need your rest.
Is that obvious?
More so for Regengar.
He was watching over me while we were running. She looks at
I
Regengar, bit of a longing in her
hope-
eyes.
I hope he takes a bit of time to rest himself as well.
Probably not tonight, but maybe later.
It's unhealthy
Yes.
to let your scars linger that long.
I've tried to have him talk about it, but he's opened up a little bit to me. He's opened quite a bit to me, but those scars, I don't know if he'd ever get rid of those.
Some are around for the long run.
Yeah.
Best thing we can do is mask them at times. Look our best to the outside, right?
All right. Refuel?
I was hoping for maybe society.
Absolutely.
Right. There's a toggle in the thing. If I can use it.
Yeah, you can.
No, it's legitimately difficult to use.
Annie had a good thing. You click on it once, and then you use the arrow keys to go down.
No, it's closing itself for me.
I know. When it's selected, after you clicked on it once, use the arrow keys. It will change
Okay.
the selection.
Okay, got it. All right, here we go.
Go for it.
I don't know the DC, so here we go.
Might be good, might be bad. We'll see if you piss her off.
And don't forget the +2,
Fingers
Paul.
Put +2 into it.
It's got a +1 from bolster confidence.
So it'll be +3.
Will it?
Roll it.
Okay. Adding +2.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Just +2. Okay. Roll. Go.
Theoretically, it would be plus. It would be either way. That's a critical success. So don't worry about it. All right. So, talking to her now, because he did save her, she already was friendly in a way. She will move from friendly to helpful.
Okay.
Oh, all right. There's a spell. Let's see.
Oh? What?
Contemplating again.
I'm back. It's just annoying me so much right now. All right, so she is talking to you. I do know a bit of an ability. It's the least I can do. I don't have any money to give you as a mean of thanks for saving us, but I do have a spell that is unique.
AI.
Damn, it's annoying.
We're
I didn't
getting
restart my computer. I did it from the website. I need to, I guess, maybe do a physical reconnection because this is fucking stupid. All right. I'm going to try to explain this spell one more time. If it fails, I'm going to give up.
Oh no.
Don't give up.
I know of a way to thank you, at least. I can do. I don't have any money, but I have developed my own spell. I can make a phantasmal image of a, well, for your version, if you know it, the most beautiful creature imaginable to a nearby location. The beauty of this, though, is it very much distracts anyone around it.